Sometimes things just don't go to plan. And this one really didn't.
Apparently that side is smoky.
Alright, so we've got a problem with one of the cars, but surprisingly it's not mine, it's not that car right there. Now Chloe's on her way home from work. I've just gone and picked the jack up from the old house with all the tools and stuff. So I'm going to get Chloe to pull front face onto the driveway. We're going to jack the front end up and check it out, because there's this weird, like, metallic-y sort of noise that's randomly happening. Hello, doggy. As you can tell, we're still not fully moved in yet. But there's this weird metallic-y noise that keeps happening on the car, and we need to figure out what it is. So I'm going to go roll my car down so that Chloe can at least fit it on the driveway. We can get it jacked up and see what's happening. Chloe's going to push it forward while I'm in it, and then we're going to triangle it back a bit, just try and get it down the gap a little bit and make a little bit more room. Are you ready, Captain? Right, pulling it off. You got this, go! Do you need help? Go on lass! Chloe's done the heavy lifting for us, so let's get this car on the driveway and get it up in the air. We'll check suspension, stuff like that, make sure it's not the brakes that are squeaking. I think after that, really, we're going to have to check the timing chain. I don't want it to be that. I really don't want it to be out of timing belt. It could be water pump still, I don't know. Let's see.
It was at this point that I realised that this was the first of many problems to come.
Oh no.
A locking wheel nut that was broken, and this would take a little while to fix.
We're going to have to go to Google. Because that locking wheel nut is, whoever put it on last, see that? It's just ate away. I bet they put it on with an impact hammer and cross-threaded it. This is exactly what they've done. Bastards. So it's a few days later now, and the parcel has just arrived. So I had an inkling that it might have been the brakes when we were looking at it, but I wasn't too sure because the brakes haven't been changed in a while, and there was quite a big... That was a big stretch, Molly. There's quite a big lip on the brake disc, and just hide the address real quick. But the parcel's arrived with brake discs and pads. Now you won't believe this. It only cost 60 quid for 2 discs and like the 4 pads. Pretty good price. But obviously we've got some stuck wheel nuts to deal with, so we're gonna have to get a wheel nut remover and a hammer and go ham basically and get that off so that we can actually change the brakes in the first place. So that's job number uno. Then job number 2 is might teach Chloe how to change brakes. I think that'll be pretty cool, pretty informative. And I think after that we definitely need to change brake fluid, because that brake fluid has not been changed in 11 years. So I have a feeling it's going to be very dirty, and hopefully we've got enough left. I think we'll have enough, but let's see. So we were battling with this for a couple of days, but the way to get the spinning collar off, impact driver, smaller old socket, hammer it on, and then the collar came out with it after about a couple of minutes of just twisting side to side. So a couple of days worth of struggling off in 30 seconds. So as luck would have it, we've got the exact same problem on this side, trying to get it, and it's a nightmare.
Now we've finally got the lock and wheel nuts off, we can finally get started with this build. So it's time to jack the car up and take the wheel off.
They don't look as bad as what I thought, but I'm still going to use some oil on them. I don't think you guys can see, I mean you can see how thin the disc is. Like how thin this disc is here and how big of a lip there is on the disc. Obviously it's quite worn down, but look how thin. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, look how thin that pad is. Bearing in mind, that's how thick the new pads are. And this is the good side. Is the good side.
So it's actually time now to finally crack the bleed nipple.
Good. That's good, it actually cracked, holy shit. I was not expecting that to crack, that's good.
And I realised I'm making it really difficult for myself, so I decided just to turn the wheel, give myself a bit more room to work with. And it was time to crack the top slider bolts. That's one.
Nice.
And then that's the second one. Now this bit should have been a pre-warning to what was about to happen in the future, but I really struggled to take the caliper off.
There we go. Yeah, FaceTime Chloe to show her this, but that is, look how, there's literally no pad up here. And this is the good side, and then this caved in as I was just looking at it. So.
And I'm just knocking the pads out.
Oh, mate. It's actually worn down the wear indicator. That's crazy.
And then it was time to knock the clips out. And now it's time for the caliper bracket bolts. And the second one, these are in pretty tight. That's the bracket off at least. And And I think for this bit we needed a little bit more power. And that was time for the disc to come off, which was a little bit stuck, but it came off.
Right, we've finally got it all off, and now it's time to rebuild it all.
And putting everything back on, we just need to clean everything because these discs got a little bit of oil on them. That's the disc going back on. And the little screw to hold it in place. Can't forget that. And then I'm just cleaning up the bracket as well. Just tightening it all up. Now I'm getting the brand new clips on. It's already looking so much cleaner and better. And greasing these clips as well. We want those pads to slide nicely. And that's one pad going in. And these were a little bit difficult to get in, but they did click in eventually. And the second one went in much easier.
Look at that. Look at the difference on them. Holy shit. That is mental.
And it was time to rewind this caliper, so I probably should also realise at this point that this was a bit stiffer than usual, but I just used an old brake pad to wind it back in. This was the slider bolts just going back in.
Right, we're actually back on. We've got a healthy amount of paddage on. We just need to bleed them now. So we'll bleed this side with the speed bleeder and get on the other side.
Now, in my defence, this was my first time using this quote-unquote speed bleeder. Don't really think I was doing it properly because I think there was a lot of air coming in from the line. So I think it was time to rethink the strategy.
Okay, I might be using that speed bleeder wrong. I'm going to get Chloe. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. Chloe, can you help me bleed your brakes? Because I don't think the speed bleeder's working very well. Thank you.
And then after bleeding the brakes, it was time to do the other side of the car, which looks quite nice. Now, I did struggle again just to get these brake pads in the clips, but eventually they did go in and we got the other side sorted.
So, we're finally off on a journey. The brakes definitely work, so I just pulled out the driveway and they did stop me. So we're going to go bed the brakes in a little bit and hopefully they will. They do work.
They work a little bit too well now.
Yep, they work pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go bed these in. Thanks so much for.
But sometimes disaster strikes when you think the video is going to end.
Apparently that side is smoky.
So the side that we were fucking about with, you know, with the stuck wheel nut and everything, not a problem. But this side, it's just smoking. It's not, the brakes aren't engaging on it.
How do you fix it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Give it 5 minutes to cool down. 5-10 minutes to cool down. I'll spin it around, take it back home. Oh dear, that wasn't good, was it? Well, that's never happened in the amount of times that I've changed brakes. So the car's going back up on the jack now, and we'll see what the problem is. It's just not engaging on that driver's side at all. So passenger side's engaging fine. Driver's side isn't. Because obviously you can see the passenger side already started bedding in from when we were braking. But now it's not. And that's got me worried. Don't know what it could be. Don't know if it's something to do with when I've rewound the caliper, if it's maybe I didn't put the bleed nipple back up. I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll go check. And this will be an interesting one, see what this problem is. Right, so we're back on it again. I've got the caliper off the tester piston. The piston's coming in now absolutely fine. There's not, this bleed nipple's on properly. The slider pins slide nicely. No force needed on them. So I wonder if it's these, the pad slider pins. I wonder if these are the problem, because these are new as well. So I wonder if these have caused a bit of a problem changing these out. Let's try and get the pads back in and just see how tight it is. Right, so I've re-greased the sliders and back's off fine. Back's off fine. I'll just put that back in. And then, yep, the disc still moves pretty well. I just don't understand what's going on. Very, very strange. I think you maybe put everything back together and just try it again. I may put everything back together, and then if it doesn't want to turn now with this on, maybe if we release some brake pressure, I wonder if then it's gonna work. How strange. So we've rebuilt it now. You can actually see that I don't know if you can see what one, but yeah, you can see the slider pins moving in and out when I do that. And look, it moves a lot easier than what it did 5 minutes ago. So maybe we fixed it. I'll have to take it out for a test drive and see. Yeah, that is like blue hot. 100% it's stuck. Caliper. Fuck. Well, me and the dog just ordered a caliper, a badgered caliper from Halfords, believe it or not. So it was £129, something ridiculous, like 112 quid from Halfords. Oh, Jesus Christ. Auto door, car parts for less, Euro car parts, all them like 80, 90 quid. Oh my God. Like, oh, Halfords have got 25% off code. So when you get 25% off code, about 85 quid. And that's on Tuesday delivery. So Sunday today. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, it's not too bad. So we'll get it sorted. But it doesn't come in until Tuesday at 4 o'clock, which is fine. Go pick up at store. That's not an issue. But my God, what a pain this has been. Like, I don't even know how long this video is going to be, because obviously I'm talking in the past to the future. But Jesus Christ, the rounded locking nut, the things that we hammered on that got stuck, that was all a nightmare. Just doesn't go to plan at all, does it? And then when we get the disc on, right, I thought, oh, everything's fine, you know, all the bleed nipples coming off, everything like that. The caliper's rewinding, absolutely fine. Now the caliper's fucked. It's got to be the caliper, because when the caliper's taken off, everything's coming out. It's really hard to get the caliper off. I literally had to take the caliper mounting bracket off to take the caliper out. So that's why I think the caliper's stuck. Because one thing is, I don't think it's returning back. Because when you're rewinding it, it's rewinding fine, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a problem rewinding. There's no air in the system at all, and we've bled that thing so much. It is 100% no air in the system. But I don't know, man. I think it's got to be the caliper. It's got to be the caliper that's just, it's sticking out. It's not being able to retract by itself. Like, I can retract it. I can retract it manually. I just can't. The car can't retract it. That's got to be what it is. Crazy times. Because the last thing I want to do is obviously damage these discs and pads. Because obviously the discs are already starting to turn blue. So, yikes. Don't we wait until Tuesday? This video has been going on. I've had so many costume changes, hat changes, shaves. Like, right, we finally have a little bit of good news after the whole... It's literally took 4 days to get a brake caliper, because we originally ordered it from Halfords for a badgered one. Yeah, and it was like, oh yeah, next day pickup, fantastic. Next day comes, not able to pick up. Weird, okay, give them to the next day, phone up. Hey, it's not even left the supplier, we don't even know when it'll be there. Bruh. What do you mean you don't even know when it'll be there? So I went on eBay, ordered one on eBay, boom, come 9 o'clock in the morning. I ordered it at like 2:30 in the afternoon. Oh, honestly, it's crazy. So, gonna go put the caliper on now. Chloe's still at work. I'm gonna let it gravity bleed while she's at work, and then when she comes back, I get her to help me bleed it. Then we'll go out and we'll finally, hopefully, have the car working, and there'll be no fire this time.
Finally, for the last time, we've got the car on the ramp, and we're just taking off the brake line. Now, this was a little bit tight, so we need to be a bit careful, and there it goes. And now the new caliper's going on with the brake line. Just needs tightening up. Perfect, now we're just tightening the caliper all the way back up. And this is actually the first time I've ever bled brakes by myself. And to be fair, I think it went pretty well. You know, we bled the system really well.
I'm sure this is like the 10th time now, joking, it's like the 3rd or 4th, of test driving the car. And hopefully this time it's going to work, because we managed to bleed it ourselves. So that was good. The first time I've actually ever bled brakes by myself. So let's go test it out. Hopefully the brakes are actually now working. All I'm going to do, I'm going to go around the block probably like 5-6 times and see how it, and just pull up every so often and just get out, check it, see how it's doing. Fingers crossed, it works. Right, I'm just back from the coast road. No smoke, doesn't feel like it's hot. Let's go and see. And I think it looks good. There's no smoke.